Alright guys, TacticalBit back again today. Hope you're enjoying whatever day this video is going live. Not exactly sure when we're going to be talking about this, but today wanted to discuss this Hector Rodriguez OpTic Gaming situation that went down a few weekends ago. Somewhat old news, but Hex now has responded to it in the most recent Eavesdrop podcast with Nameless, talking about the situation and why he didn't feel like this was appropriate for OpTic Gaming to come out with. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, because this kind of organizational drama and organizational banter this entire season has been pretty entertaining, to be honest, and I think that a lot of teams have gained a lot of fans by their Twitter interactions. Florida Mutineers especially have done a great job with this one throughout the entire season. However, did OpTic Gaming go too far in this one? I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always. This is what OGLA tweeted out a while ago then. So this was when, well, on the 25th of July, as you can see, after the Toronto home series finished off and OpTic Gaming went out of the, well, Chicago Huntsman went out of the tournament and OpTic Gaming carried on. They then tweeted out this. So OpTic Gaming tweet out, I prefer the real OpTic, so a picture of the Dynasty team, and then a picture of Hector Rodriguez, of course, longtime CEO of the OpTic Gaming organization, and then sold it to Infinite, and then things went downhill. As I'm sure you guys are familiar with at this point, I said the real OpTic, and then of course Slasher's OpTic with TJ Draza, Slasher of course, Hollow, and Kenny over here saying perfection. So this is the tweet that they came out with. At the time I just thought this is kind of like, maybe it's not in great taste, but it's kind of just banter at the end of the day. However, this certainly touched a sore spot within a lot of fans and well, a lot of community members. Well, you know, history is really, when you look at what the OpTic Gaming team was back in the day and what Hector did for the organization, and then how things went downhill and went sour. And of course Hector isn't happy with how things went down either. I imagine he thinks he could have done stuff differently, as we've talked about in the past with the whole Infinite acquisition. So it certainly was rubbing salt into the wounds. And as Revitalize says, didn't check Twitter this weekend, but there's no way they actually tweeted this, because then they went on to delete it. And well, MattG and Co then apologized to Hector and reached out to the guys. They deleted the tweet, which if anything makes it worse in a sense. Like if you're gonna do this, you're gonna commit to it, maybe just commit to it, because otherwise it's like Streisand effect, and now people are looking at it in more detail, and now you look like you have backtracked to a significant degree. I don't know. I think it's either you don't do it at all or you just follow through with it maybe. But as Hitcheride says then, I honestly think the social dude doesn't understand this ain't just typical banter. The good people over there made them take it down and apologized to us privately. Bo says again, I'm just seeing this, they wild as hell. People calling me soft, wait until they find out. And then JCat bites on this one, right? You know what? I'll bite, because now I'm genuinely curious. What is it people have to find out with what Hitch is saying here? Team accounts have been memeing each other all year in the CDL. Why is a real fake OpTic meme crossing the line? Of course, Jacob on the OpTic Gaming squad. I know we're DMing, but I'm not mad or soft. I don't really care. They punched, I punched back. They deleted, so I deleted. He punched back with like a list of all their YouTube videos views over the last like week or something, be like 5k, 6k, something like that. I love everyone, can't wait for events again. So yeah, he punched back on this one, and then well, MattG then replies to this tweet. MattG, when he saw the social media manager went rogue. We get this then from Kevy Skills. Tomorrow's numbers are about to go crazy. This is pretty funny looking at their Twitter follow account, and well, I brought this up on Social Blade here, and you can see it's not a pretty sign, right, for the OpTic Gaming team right now. Every month they're losing 13,000 followers on average. But then of course Hector Rodriguez comes out in response to this whole situation. I'll share a couple of his thoughts on the matter.
I was super salty at a tweet that came out this past weekend. Like, I was so mad, bro. I was internally, like, I got all choked up. And I know
exactly what tweet you're talking about. They shouldn't have put your picture in that, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, one, yeah. Anyway, either way, it was just like, I understand, like, that little kid probably didn't know what he was doing. He doesn't know the history behind it, doesn't know everything that happened, right? I get a text from my boy, fucking Mud Dog, and he's like, yo, man, I'm sorry about And then I was like, immediately, he's like, I'm sorry about that tweet. I was like, oh, I don't need to fucking relive this moment. Just let it be, right? From my perspective, you got to think about it, and you got to, like, that couldn't have come from just that one dude. It came from way up where you know.
They were laughing about it.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I don't want to play that game. And more importantly, you don't want me to play that game.
I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, well, at least someone did. I sure as fuck did. It was like I woke up one morning and somebody shit on my Cheerios, and then they fucking fed them to me. You know what I mean? I was just like,
no, I know. I'm sorry, because that is, I know how it's like. That's your baby, man. Like, yeah, I know how that is, but it still adds to the story, though. Hector, at the end of the day, it's your baby. It still adds to the story. If you guys play them at champs and beat them, you know, it adds to that story.
It just puts so many people in the line of fire when it comes, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it doesn't matter. The other thing is, like, I don't know if you know, but we don't, like, I'm very clear with my social team as to what we do and what we don't do.
You guys don't troll other teams, huh?
We do not. It's against my rule. Okay, we've never done it. Even, I mean, think about a 3 million followed account. Well, I think it was like 3.4 at one point when I was there. Like we never did that. We never, when we beat people, we just don't do that, because I understand social media and I understand what the ramifications of doing something or saying something and it going the wrong way, what it could do, right?
Yeah.
And frankly, it's like I get it. Social teams, their job is to get impressions, and I know that we bring those impressions. I know it's easy. Respect goes a long way with me. You know what I mean? Because I expect to receive the same thing that I project. But again, I understand the game. I understand that, social media banter is good for the fans and it's good for that. It just doesn't work for us. It's never worked for us. I don't think it'll ever work for us. And there's just the way that I choose to run this business. If I want to entertain my fans, it surely isn't going to be by taking shots at somebody else. You know what I mean? I understand the importance of it. I understand why it's funny. I understand that it creates, whatever drama it needs to be created in order to do that. But if you focus on your content, if you focus on creating a fan base that supports you no matter what, you won't have to do the cringy shit. You know what I mean? So
certainly he didn't feel like this was in good taste, and I think his opinion is somewhat interesting in the fact that certainly this is somewhat required in terms of for engagements, right? If you're OpTic Gaming right now and you're losing a lot of followers, you can imagine that OGLA's social media team want to just rile up engagements and get community interaction and all this kind of stuff to hit their like engagement targets or whatever exactly they have. And the way to do that is to take shots of the huntsman, right? Like that's just how it is. That's how you get impressions. And then HECZ is saying that, well, I can understand the necessity for that, but at the same time, there's a degree of respect between the professional communities and between the professional teams. And HECZ is saying that, well, this decision to make this tweet just doesn't come from like one rogue social media manager, more comes from like the entire organization. That's probably why like MattG and co went and then apologized to HECZ for the situation and apologized to other guys for the offense this had caused, I suppose. But I imagine it came from higher up than just one social media guy deciding this would be a funny tweet to put out. And yeah, so clearly he's not happy with it, but then clearly biased on the situation, right? Maybe you think this is perfectly reasonable. Certainly it is rubbing salt in the wounds, but at the end of the day, it's just banter, and people honestly I think should just like get over it and not think about this as too much of a big deal. I understand that OpTic Gaming, like if maybe it feels like they need to do this and maybe they should just focus on other elements than go in at the huntsman, I suppose, to get Twitter interactions. But at the same time, this back and forth between teams is something which we shouldn't necessarily shy away from. And when other organizations have done this in the past, like Dallas Empire have taken shots at the huntsman and this kind of stuff, people don't really seem to see it in too much of the same light. But then when OpTic Gaming do it due to the history, it then becomes somewhat of a point of contention. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new as always. I will see you next time.
Octane, a CoD legend, a man of many talents, who shoots so straight that his opponents fear his name. But when the going gets tough, those trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers. A player who, well, you get the picture. Slasher, on the other hand, never complains, is always honest and is a true leader. Never taking on the CDL personally, and is jacked. Slasher is your true American hero. This August, when Champs comes around, you know where to pledge your support. We're OGLA, and we approve this message.